Good morning, everyone. First of all, we want to thank you all for your assistance to this event, which was arranged by the Manufactured Textile and Leather Bilingualism team in head of our leader, Rocio Jimenez, and the English instructors. I assume you're wondering, why are we presenting a fashion event in English? Please remember that this is a worldwide event which not only concerns us at SENA, but also the rest of the attendees. Learning a second language is not only putting words that make sense together, but developing skills for life. We want to show you how developing and performing in a second language promotes the understanding of other cultures, their work practices, and how communication is related to everything you do. Finally, I would like to present what we have planned for today. First, sustainability and overview for fashion. Our guests are Camila Montoya and Melissa Russo. Second, break up with fashion by Andres Guerrero. Third, useful vocabulary about fashion revolution. Fourth, our closing words by Milena Mendes. Please don't forget to sign the attendance list, which you will find in the chat. For our first talk, I would like to introduce to our speakers. Camila Montoya is a design strategist advocating for sustainable fashion, and Melissa Russo, as you already know, is an actress and a drama teacher. Be welcome, Melissa and Camila.
Hello, everybody. How are you? My name is Melissa Russo, and I'm from Wellness Team, Performing Arts Approach. I'm new. So today I am with Camila Montoya. She's a designer strategist advocating for sustainable fashion. She lives in the USA, and today we are going to talk about sustainable fashion. And Camila is going to answer some questions, and she's going to give us some tips about this topic. Hello, Camila, how are you? Thank you for being here, and hello.
Hi, Melly, how are you? I'm really glad. I'm really happy to be here, to have this opportunity to talk to everyone about sustainable fashion. And I'm ready to hear some questions.
Okay, great. So here, if you have some questions, you can put them on the chat and we will answer your questions, okay? So we are going to start, Camila. So could you tell us, when did it all start?
Of course. So I would say that about 2 years ago, when I joined my master's, before that, I did understand sustainability, and that, like you have to recycle and you have to do good things for the environment, but I didn't realize it how much was important as consumers to actually do something about it until I joined my master's, and one of the main pillars of the master was sustainability. And then I think that before that, like I used to reuse some containers for my kitchen, or use the different straws so I don't contaminate with plastic and all of that. But I was the type of person that it will go shopping every week, and to go to these places, these fast fashion companies, because like, what is $4 for me? So I will just buy it, and if I don't like it, I just can throw it away and keep going until I just start realizing, after different case study and the different research, that the fashion industry is the second most polluted industry in the world, and I was being part of that. And so this is when I decided that, before, like, for me, fashion is always that I have been always passionate about. I think it's a way of expression. It's a way that I can express my personality, but it's like I need to find a way that I can do it that it's environmentally friendly. And this is how everything started.
Okay, that's so interesting, Camila. So I forgot to tell you that if you don't understand something, you can put it on the chat and you can say, hey, please, could you please repeat it one more time, or could you please say it in Spanish? Because if you don't understand the thing that it's very important you to understand, okay? So Camila, that's so interesting. Now I am thinking about my closet, and I'm just like realizing that I have too much clothes, and that's the problem in here. This is the wake of the fashion revolution, and I'm just thinking about that because I have like 5 jeans are the same jeans, and I don't know why I bought 5 jeans that are the same design. So I am realizing that I'm thinking about that, but and I want those people that are here to think about that, not to answer something, just think about the clothes that are on their closets. Okay, so Camila, and what's fast fashion for you, and why should we change the way we consume to a more sustainable approach?
Yes, so I mean, I think for me, fast fashion, it's a combination of many different things. Of course, the use of the type of material that you're using are important, but as well, you have to take into account the water that you're consuming when producing this clothes, and then the energy as well. And then this social aspect where it's like, how are you treating your employees? How many hours are these employees working? Are you paying them well? And all of that. But overall, I think that the word that actually defined the fast fashion is overproduction. Because I remember that I read somewhere that, for example, these fast fashion companies that I think most of us know, they have almost 52 collections per year. That means that every week they are changing collections. You know, so right now you don't even realize the one of the collection when you jump into the other one, and you keep going and keep going and keep going. Then this is for me the meaning of fast fashion. And then why is it that we need to become more sustainable? I mean, I think that the issue right now, and that's why I always focus on the consumer, is that we are super used to say, oh, it's their issue, you know, it's their problem. Like companies should do something about it to become more sustainable. And I completely agree, but it's like you also are over consuming. And so you make that these companies are able to overproduce. And so this is why I think it's important for all of us, that like as individuals, to see our journey and to see the things that we can change. And I mean, right now you were talking that you have a lot of clothing in your closet, and I mean, I do too. And I remember that I used to wake up every day to go to work or to go to school, and I will say to myself, I don't have anything to wear, you know. But it's like, really, like you have 50 pants, you have 100 t-shirts, but still you don't have anything to wear. So it's just like to change this thing of like, you can be as creative as possible to the clothes that you have right now. Of course, I'm not saying that you cannot buy it, but it's more of like to be more conscious when buying and why are you buying it.
Wow, 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 wow. And I am just thinking about that we can use our clothes in many ways, because we have a t-shirt, and that t-shirt we can use it in different events. That's right.
Exactly. I mean, I have this thing whenever I want to buy clothes to said like, you have to find 5 moments that you can wear this t-shirt, this shirt, this blouse, or this any specific clothes that you want to buy. So as an example, if I have this shirt, you know, it's like, what are the 5 events or 5 moments in my life that I can wear it? Can I wear it to an event? Can I wear it to go to work, to go to school, to go to a park, to go to a dinner, you know? And if I can feel 5 moments that I can wear it, that means that I'm gonna be able to wear more often than other clothes that when I ask myself, what can I do? For example, I want to buy these shoes because I have a wedding. Then I have to ask myself, like, what in other occasions you want to buy those shoes? Do you can use those shoes? Then if you don't have that answer, then this is the moment that you can say, you know, like, is it worth it that I spend my money, but I also buy something that I'm gonna just wear one time and then throw it away? Because, you know, I'm just letting everyone know, but the thing that you throw away 20 years ago or 10 years ago is still in landfills, because most of the fabrics don't disappear, you know? So it's like to be more conscious in like, it's not that you, oh, give it to charity or put it in the trash and that's it, because you're getting rid of that, but it's more of like what happened afterwards that you also have to take into consideration.
Wow, wow. So it's incredible, Camila. For example, I have heard about a campaign of H&M, in Spanish, H&M. They have in their stores a place where they receive old clothes and they tell you, hey, please donate your old clothes. What do you think about that? Is that sustainable fashion or not?
I mean, I have my opinions about H&M or H&M, but I think that is great in general that all companies are doing more to become more sustainable. My only issue with this type of companies is like, yes, they are releasing a collection that it can be a little more sustainable, or they are recycling fibers, or there are or you can bring your clothes to be recycled. But this is only maybe the 5% or less of the entire production. So you're missing that 95% of that. That is like they still overproduce clothes, they don't recycle, you know? So it's like there are companies that are doing better than them. So it's like they're just trying to do this green washing that is to market to say, oh yes, I'm super environmentalist, I really care about the environment. But is it really? And I think that this is the point that we as consumers, we should do a little research on, because you can find companies that actually are doing better, you know, that their entire production is a little more sustainable for the planet, for the people, but for them it's like they have this only 5% to do that.
Wow, I understand. So it's like it's not so true when you go to H&M and they say, "Oh, we do sustainable fashion." It's not so true.
Yeah, so I mean, for example, in the labels, that you can see that you can find as an example, oh, this is 100% polyester recyclable. But then when you go to actually read the label exactly, maybe it's only the outside of the jacket that you're wearing, but maybe the inside is not recyclable, you know? And to actually
Wow.
recycle a product, if it has the different fabrics, you will need to destroy it in a sense that, okay, so I'm using this cotton to do this, and I'm using this polyester to do this, and I'm using this, you know? So it's actually really hard, because in their labels, it's true maybe that they're saying, oh, I am recyclable this, but it's not the entire jacket or the entire t-shirt that they are recycling.
Wow. I understand. So, Camila, can you explain a little further about sustainable materials that brands are using right now?
Yes, so I mean, in terms of materials, I think that technology have helped us a lot. So you can see right now that there's bamboo fibers, and then you can see also that there are, in terms of leather, you find pineapple leather and mushroom leather and all of that. But I would say that when we as consumers, we see brands, we don't only focus on like, oh, this more natural material that yes, it's good. But for example, there are other companies that they are using PET plastic fibers to actually create clothes, you know? So PET is not that recyclable, but they are giving another use to that fiber. So that's good, because you know, like it's fiber that at least for, I don't know, a year or 2 years or so, they want in landfills, but they're giving another life. And also there are other things that I would say that we need to take into consideration when talking about materials, is also like there's companies that have worked really hard to actually reduce the water half when they're doing production, or like I don't know, add solar panels to make it a little more sustainable and all of that. And I mean, another one that is super important that I think people are started to realize it more is the packaging, no? So it's like also these companies are doing a more sustainable packaging, so they are more simple packaging, so you don't have to throw away that much. So I would say in terms of materials, I would see it as a company as a whole. Is like, what are you doing to become more sustainable? Is it the materials, or maybe it's like you're reusing the fabrics that already exist, so they won't end in the landfills? Or are you reducing the natural resources that we have? Or are you reducing the packaging? Or are you doing everything, you know?
Okay, so and now that we are talking about materials, So in this topic, they are using like biodegradable materials.
Yes, so you can find there are some clothes that they're promoting due to technology that is biodegradable. So supposedly you put it in the landfill and it will take some years, maybe like 20 or 40 years to biodegrade. That it's great. I mean, is that instead of like millions of years without like being the piece of fabric there. And yes, like this is another one. I feel that it's still technology have a long way to go, but we're getting there.
Okay, Camila, you mentioned some landfills. Could you please explain us about these landfills? What happened in those landfills?
Okay, I mean, I think in terms of the landfill, the issue is that you can find different type of trash. No, you can find organic trash like, I don't know, fruits, vegetables, and all of that. But you can also find plastics, because there are some plastics that are recyclable. There are some plastics that are not. So these ones will then end in landfills. And then you're gonna find, I don't know, like any other type of material. And at the same time, you're gonna find a bunch of fabrics that unfortunately they won't biodegrade by any means. And so, I mean, for example, here in the US, Florida, as an example, is a state that is completely flat. And when you're going through the state, you see mountains just because they're mountains made of trash. And when you're going, you see more and more. Of course, they cover it with grass and all, but you can see that every time you see more and more mountains. And like similar in Colombia, you see people that unfortunately are living next to these big mountains of trash, because we don't, I mean, I would say that starting in our houses, we don't recyclable enough, but at the same time we don't reuse enough.
Wow, that's so sad. It's
I know.
very sad, and it's worried. I'm worried now.
I know. I mean, I think it's incredible to understand that, like a thing that you throw away, like a pair of socks that you throw away when you were a kid, is still in a landfill. And this is impressive, because it's when you realize, when you realize if it's worth it that I buy this, that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it afterwards, or I'm gonna wear it afterwards.
Yes, that's true, because in the store you can like it, or you prove it and you like it, but then when you put it again, you don't like it.
Exactly.
It's very weird, but that happens.
Completely agree. Completely.
Yes. Okay, so Camila, can you tell us what fashion brands you know that are implementing sustainability and how?
Yes. So, I mean, I can give you a couple of options. So Levi's is one of them. They are actually doing an incredible job in sustainability in each of their labels. When you buy any jeans, for example, you're gonna find what is it that they did for this specific jean. So do they were able in their production to reduce water by half, or where they use recyclable fibers to redo this gene, and so on and so forth. And they have, like, I will say that almost their entire production, it's approaching like a more sustainable way of living. And then, I mean, I have a couple of Levi's jeans, and I think I have them for many years, and it's still, you see that is good quality and all. Then another one that is also worldwide, it's a brand called Pangaya. The really amazing thing about this brand is that they base in their United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So they not only focus on the environment, but they also focus on the people. So to have it like a completely circular economy, where everything, that everything they do it is based on the value for people and the planet. Then when you buy it, I had the opportunity to buy some sweatpants from them, and then their bag that they come in, it's biodegradable packaging. Their sweatpants are completely recyclable fibers and all of that. So like, it's a company that is doing an incredible job. And then in terms of Colombia, there is one company that is similar to Levi's that is called Little Ramonas. They also they also use less water to produce their jeans, and at the same time they use recyclable fibers to produce it. And then I don't know if many of you have heard about this brand, but it's quite known, and the name is Entre Aguas. And
Yes.
yeah, okay, so it's you can find any swimsuits there, but they're really cool about that. This brand are two things. One is like they actually use pieces of clothes, like of old clothes, and they do the swimsuit. They actually do it by hand, the swimsuit, and it's completely super pretty and amazing. And at the same time, the other thing is when they dye their products with ink and all of that, they need to use, they have in their production plan, they have aware that they can clean the water and use it again. So it's amazing because they're not wasting water, they're just using it the same, but they found the way to actually clean the water to use it again for next production. So it's amazing.
Wow. So Camila, here in the chat, they are asking if have you ever heard about Little Ramona's jeans?
Yes, this is the one that I just named. The Little Ramonas is the first one. They are a company. They are a company created by Colombians, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, like they do jeans that are based on recyclable fibers, and at the same time they use less water in their productions.
Okay, so we can search them in Instagram. Little Ramona's
Exactly.
Little Ramona's jeans. Okay, that's so interesting. Interesting, Camila. It's time to think how we are consuming, and also we have to investigate about brands that we like, because you can love one brand. I don't know, like Zara's. I love Zara's clothes, but if it is not a good option for reuse or recycle, we have to think about those brands, because I love Zara's clothes, but when I buy them, and what happened then? What happened next? But when I buy them, because I don't know, it's a really big problem. The thing that they are not biodegradable, or they are not paying to the employees, and that's very sad. So we have to think about those brands that we like, and we have to investigate. I think we have to investigate about those brands. It's an important thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think for consumers, and I do understand that is really hard to actually do research. Like when I was starting with this, and I still right now have trouble finding brands that are sustainable, but there is out there brands that are like, they're working really hard to become more sustainable every day. And of course, we do also need to understand that for brands, it's also a part of their journey, so at the beginning, maybe they won't be that sustainable. They will have some parts that are sustainable, but in the process, they will learn and become more sustainable. But we as consumers, it's like like there's brands out there that actually are doing a great job. It's just the way of finding these brands that maybe they are not as big as Zara or an H&M, but they have incredible material. They have clothes that you can wear for many years. They are super pretty. It's just like a matter of research. And I wish there was something that you can find it easily. There is actually an app that is called Good on You. I don't know if it's in the entire worldwide, but you can search for any of the brands, and they will tell you in from 1 to 5, like, is it a sustainable brand or not for you to buy it. It's not that user friendly, but it's something that you can still doing research on that before actually jumping and buy anything from any of the brands.
Okay, that's so true, Camila. They are asking how sustainable fashion has increased in recent years.
I think I mean I will say, like, unlike unfortunately I don't have the exact number of how much it had been increased, but I will say that we right now as society we're more conscious on on the environment in general. We as humans, I think right now this new generation is starting to understand that we cannot live alone as humans, you know, that we need the animals, we need our environment, we need the plants, and then to do that we have to become more sustainable. So I would say, like, in terms of the entire, like, all the industries, little by little we're becoming a little more sustainable. In terms of the fashion industry, you see more people that are like trying to advocate more sustainable fashion. Still, I will say that is the industry that there is a long way to go.
Wow. So when was the last time that you buy clothes?
So, I mean, I would say fast fashion clothes, I will say already 2 years ago. And then the last time that I actually bought one is the one that I was telling you from Pangaea. It was in December. It was a Christmas present that I made for me by me. and it, like it was really nice, because when I got it, like, I understand all of them time and effort and research that they have put in every single step of their brand.
Wow. So they are asking for Spanish subtitles. So could you please give a little resume in Spanish, but little, please, Camila?
Of course, sí, claro. Yo creo que quisiera hablar más como sobre el punto del consumidor y volver a este tema de que como consumidores siempre hablamos que, uy, las empresas son las del problema. Por ejemplo, H&M debería cambiar, o Zara debería cambiar, y yo no digo que eso sea mal. Me parece que esas empresas deberían cambiar, pero me parece que nosotros como consumidores también deberíamos ser un poco más educados a la hora de comprar y escoger empresas que realmente están metiéndole la ficha a ser un poco más sostenibles en ese sentido. Diría que esto de todo es lo más importante, como encontrar empresas que realmente en sus páginas web estén explicando por qué son sostenibles, qué parte están haciendo para las personas, para el planeta, porque en realidad el ser sostenible no solamente incluye el planeta, pero es también que tú, a las personas que trabajan contigo, pues que también estén trabajando de una buena manera, que les estés pagando bien y demás y demás. Y yo creería que de todo lo que hemos hablado aquí, eso es lo más importante, como que no dejarle la responsabilidad a las empresas, sino nosotros como consumidores realmente investigar y hacer algo al respecto para que cada persona individualmente se vuelva un poco más sostenible.
Okay, thank you, Camila. Now, if you don't understand, remember, you can say, hey, please, I didn't understand. Could you please repeat it in Spanish? Y lo repetimos en español. So we are going to continue in English. So how Camila reuse clothes?
Okay, so I mean, I think last summer I would say I have a jean that it was completely ripped off. So I cut it and now I'm using it as shorts. Works really well. Another one that my mom did it. She had pieces of old t-shirts, these type of t-shirts that people put under the suits. And she cut them and she make a scarf from them that I'm gonna show it because I have it right here. It's amazing because
Wow.
like it was made by hand, and she did it. I will say, I mean, I'm not sure how many t-shirt was there, but it was old t-shirt that if you don't use it, you will throw it away because they were not even in a good shape to actually give it to charity. And then another one that you can do is you can paint, you can dye it. You know, this trend that people when the pandemic started, that everyone was like dyeing their t-shirts or their blouses and all of that. Like you can still do that, or cut it, or like change the bottoms or of your jackets or of your shirts to make it different, you know. But overall, I would say like try different combinations, because I'm pretty sure that the people that are right here, we have enough clothes in our closets for sure.
Okay, but also we have to be conscious about tie-dye because we can't use too much water, no?
Exactly, and water, but also the chemics. So you like again, like it's a matter of actually doing research to find the inks that are less harm from the environment, that are less harm for the water that you're using, and all of that.
Okay, to explain you tie-dye, esta es esa técnica donde pinturamos las camisas que se vuelven como en varios colores al tiempo, okay? And tie-dye, it's a good technique, but we don't have to use too much water because that's not sustainable, okay? So, and they are asking, Camila, how can a small business be more sustainable?
Yeah, I mean, I actually having this situation right now. I'm in the process to launching my jewelry business, and I will say that it has been a learned journey for this. I will say that in terms of the production process, it's really hard for a small business because in this moment you don't have a plan, that you make everything from your plan and then you sell it, but you have other people that you pay for, and you cannot control that part, you know. But then it's like there are things that you can control. Maybe try to find the fabrics that are a little bit more sustainable, or maybe when you're designing, have the possibility that I can wear this specific type of clothes like in a different way, you know, like if I put a belt on, or like if I just cover one of my arms, you know, like have this possibility of using one type of clothes differently. And another thing I would say is like when you're creating your own business, there is something that you can control for sure, and it's the packaging. Like try to find packaging that it won't hurt as much your environment, the environment in general, that it still can look pretty, but you're not giving more waste to the environment. And then another thing that I will say for small businesses is be as transparent as possible. Of course, we as consumers, we cannot expect that everything will be perfect as soon as you release your company, but it's like you're in the process to become more and more sustainable every time, and you're doing every day more research, finding new material, finding new ways of doing things to be better.
Okay, that's so good. So what would you tell people that want to have a more sustainable approach? How can we start? Could you please give us some tips?
Yes, I mean, I think I will base my tips in three things. The first one is the one that I was telling you, to ask yourself what are the 5 moments that you can wear this specific clothes when buying. Like if you can figure out the 5 moments, that means that at least you're gonna use your clothes 9 more months. And you, even if you use your clothes 9 more months, that means that your waste, you're cutting your waste by 30%. So that's pretty amazing. The second one, I will say that when you're buying, please take the time to actually find in their Instagram page or in their website what are the part of sustainability that these companies are doing. Like if they even care about sustainability, if they even care about the planet and the people, and like what are the things they doing to become more sustainable. And the final one is to actually go back to our closets and find the different combinations that we have with the clothes that we own right now, you know, and try it and see. Is like, maybe I have a blouse that I haven't worn in like, I don't know, 2-3 years. So what if I can wear it right now, and I can put it with this belt or with this jewelry or with this pants, so it will look different, and I can use it again. And I will say that that this will be, as consumers, the most three things to become more sustainable.
Okay, Camila, could you please repeat that in Spanish for all our spectators, please?
Of course. Entonces, yo diría que la primera es lo que yo les nombré, de pensar las 5 ocasiones en donde podríamos usar este específico tipo de ropa que queremos comprar. Entonces, yo la puedo usar para trabajar, la puedo usar para un evento, la puedo usar para estudiar, también la puedo usar para ir al parque y la puedo usar para comer. Si logramos tener 5, eso hace que por lo menos usaremos esta prenda por 9 meses, así sea. Y si ya logras usar una prenda por 9 meses, eso quiere decir que los residuos en cuanto a moda que tú generas se reducen en un 30%, y pues obviamente se reducen aún más si la usas por 1 año y por 2 años y demás. La segunda es que antes de comprar realmente busquen estas empresas que están dedicándose su tiempo y están buscando para ser cada vez más sostenibles. Es qué tanto a ellas les interesa el planeta, qué tanto a ellas les interesan las personas y cómo trabajan para ser cada vez más sostenibles. Y la última, yo diría que volvamos a nuestros closets y veamos cuáles son la ropa que hace 3 años o 2 años no nos poníamos y realmente qué podemos hacer con ella. ¿Será que al combinarla con otros colores nos guste más? O a lo mejor si la cortamos, ¿sí? Como que ver todo ese tipo de posibilidades, porque realmente es como ir de shopping, pero ir de shopping a tu closet, que en promedio una persona solamente usa el 50% de la ropa que uno tiene, y ahorita pues en pandemia yo creo que uno usa el 20% menos, ¿no? Entonces es como que ve otra vez a tu closet, mira que en algún punto te gustó, por qué te gustó, qué le puedes hacer al respecto y usarlo de esa manera.
Okay, thank you, Camila. So here they are asking if, can you talk more about the jewelry business you are planning to launch? Would love to know more about the inspiration and process.
Of course, I mean, everything started like it's a jewelry with business with my mom that I'm pretty sure she's watching this. And then everything started with the idea of connecting Colombia with the rest of the world, but at the same time having this part of becoming more sustainable, no? And you know, like for me, nature, animals, and everything related is super important for us. Like, and then the idea with this jewelry is actually creating awareness of the importance of nature in our lives. And this is what the jewelry is based in Colombian biodiversity, and this trying to actually educate the people in a fashion way, so you know that animals and plants are super important for us. And then in terms of sustainability, I mean, like it's a long process, but we are working to create packaging that is more sustainable, like the cardboard that they use. They're not damaging any forest, that the inks that you use to actually print everything, they are not they are not harm from the environment, and everything related to that. And then in terms of the production, like all of the production is in Colombia to actually promote Colombians' jobs and actually promote the culture, because it's really important to go back to your roots and do that.
Okay, I was just about to ask you about this theme about sustainable fashion in your business. So here we have to say that we have to have coherence about that, because if you are talking about sustainable fashion and biodegradable brands and those topics, you have to do it in your own business.
I agree completely. I mean, I would say that the biggest difference between the jewelry, of course, based on the material that you're using. But for example, for us, we're using silver, and although we know that the jewelry business, how they get all of the materials is not that environmentally friendly, and maybe in the future we can find better technologies to do that. I think that the good thing about a piece of jewelry is that you can stay with that forever, you know? So for example, I have things that my grandma gave to me that are silver or gold that I can still use it. So the waste is less, of course, if you're using these type of metals, because if you're using another type of metals that are a little less high quality, I will say, you will just wear it one time and then your finger will turn green and then you have to throw it away, no? So this again is like, are you buying fast jewelry fashion, or are you buying a more quality one that it might be a little more expensive, but you know, like you can have it forever and also your kids can have it and so on.
Yes, that's so true. And we have to think about all these like family heritage, that in Spanish is like herencias familiares. So if we have clothes of our grandmother, or I don't know, grandfather, our mother, we can reuse those clothes.
Completely agree.
And we can transform those clothes. Yesterday, I told you, yesterday we had a conversation with a designer, a famous designer that is named Alejandro, and he told us to reuse that family heritage, because then we have like a dress of our grandmothers and we throw it away, and that's not a good process, I mean. we can transform those clothes and we can paint them, or we can cut them, or I don't know. He told us to use hilo y aguja. We only need hilo y aguja.
Exactly. I mean, and also I think the trends come and go again, no? So the thing that your mom used to wear or your grandma used to wear, for sure, like it's good, like it will get to a point that you are using it again. So it's like you can also use exactly the same, just wait a little longer, and then it will go trend again.
Okay, that's so true. So thank you for all your knowledge. This is so important in this moment, and we have to change the way of consumerism. It's an important thing. So they are asking, let me check the chat. If you have some questions, you can put them now. Now it's the moment to ask Camila all that you want to know. So let me check there. So, okay. So Camila, which other famous brands are using sustainable fashion? You told us that Levi's in Spanish. So which other famous brands around the world?
I mean that there is a brand that is pretty famous, that is Patagonia. That it's a brand that when they launch a marketing well, they did like an entire marketing strategy in 2011, where they were selling a jacket that is like, just buy it if you need to, you know, don't buy it because you just think like you're gonna use it one time or so. Just buy it if you need to. And so this company is also like a well-known company that it's working towards a more sustainable approach to make, like, of course for companies it's really important to have clients to buy, you know, but they base most of the time in quality. So like maybe you're gonna find a jacket that is a little bit more pricey, but I assure you that is a jacket that you can wear for many years.
Okay, that's so good. So here they are asking, how do you dispose of unwanted clothes?
Well, this is a complex answer. I give it to charity, most of them. Of course, if they're like in good shape and all. The issue with charity, unfortunately, is that all of the clothes that we dispose, charity don't even use it all, and that's why many of our clothes end up in landfills. That I would say like 89% or so that ends up in landfills. So yes, like if I can do it, still give it to charity. But I remember, but this happened like a long time ago. But every time that I wanna, I don't know, give a purse or something, I will ask my friends, like, do you want that? Like, do you like it? Do you want it? And then, you know, like this swap of clothing between friends, I think like it's an amazing option, because there are things that maybe I don't want to use anymore, my friend will, and the same way, but the other way around.
Okay, so here they are saying, I love this webinar. Thanks to the SENA for the great invite. Okay, thank you to you too for the participation. So Camila, do you want to say something else in Spanish, please? Because we have some of them they don't understand so well. So could you please tell us the last idea in Spanish?
Sí, yo diría que para terminar me parece importante como que no nos demos duros entre consumidores porque tú no estás haciendo esto y yo estoy haciendo esto, sino que cada persona está viviendo un proceso individual y deberíamos celebrar cada proceso individual. Entonces, así como yo les comentaba al principio, para mí la moda era un tema en el que yo generaba demasiado gasto, y por eso para mí como persona individual fue importante cambiar, pero a lo mejor para ti lo que más te da duro es dejar las carnes o reducir el consumo de carnes, y en eso quieres cambiar. Eso también es una parte, porque estás entregándole algo al planeta, ¿no? Y es algo también importante. O para ti es muy importante aprender sobre el reciclaje y entonces lo haces de esa manera. Es como que como individuos deberíamos celebrar que cada persona está más entusiasmada con todo este tema de proteger el ambiente, y no como que criticarnos porque tú estás haciendo esto y yo no estoy haciendo esto.
No, that's so true. Muy verdadero, Camila. So thank you, Camila, for all your knowledge. It was a great experience for us to hear your experience too, because in that starts with this, with our experience. So can you give us your social networks so they can follow you? Camila has some videos about this topic, about how to reuse your clothes, or and where she shows how to reuse our jean and other things, also glass, or to recycle. It's not only to reuse your clothes, you have to recycle too. Remember that it's an environment problem that we have. So we have to be coherent with all things that we do. We have to reuse, we have to recycle. So please give us your social networks so they can follow you.
Yes, so do you want me to say it in Spanish?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Entonces, en Instagram estoy como Camila Montoya 32 y sí, mi idea es como, desde mi experiencia, seguir mostrando cuáles son las cosas que como individuos y como consumidores podemos hacer para ser cada vez más sostenibles y para proteger más el planeta y los animales y demás. Y ya para nuestra futura marca de joyas, si quieren seguirla, que esperamos lanzarla muy pronto, es de Francisco Jewelry, de Francisco sin la E, o sea, solo la de Francisco Jewelry. Y ya, y no, y pues, o sea, yo creo que es un proceso muy bonito en donde todos podemos aprender los unos de los otros. Hay mucho que aprender, hay mucho research que hacer. Y bueno, y para eso estamos, ¿no? Para estar en este mundo y realmente que nuestro proceso de vida tenga sentido, y más aún si estamos protegiendo a otros y a la vez al planeta.
Okay, thank you, Camila, for this experience, and thank you all of you for the participation. So remember to follow Camila in @CamilaMontoya32. And if you want to follow the jewelry brand, can you repeat us, Camila? De Francisco, @de Francisco.
@de Francisco Jewelry, pero el de Francisco sin la E.
Sin la E.
Y muchas gracias a todos. This has been an amazing experience. I actually love to talk about all of these topics. And thank you for being there.
Okay, thank you everybody for your participation. I hope you enjoy this live with Camila Montoya. And we have to think about consumerism. No, it's time to start. Here in the chat, they said, es hora de empezar. Es hora, gracias. So we have to start. We have to start now, be coherent with things that we do all day. So thank you, everybody, and enjoy the next activity. And goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Camila, for joining us today, for giving your advice and everything. We're so glad to have you here today. So guys, how have you been feeling? Good, bad? So we want to read you on the chat, okay? And next, the idea is that we are going to watch a video, okay? We're going to watch a video about breakup with fast fashion, and Andres is going to present it to us. So go ahead, Andres.
Okay, so who's ready to talk about fashion? Everyone close your eyes. Just for a moment, look into your closet. Count. How many t-shirts do you have? Promo t-shirts from friend's bachelorette party for that turkey run. How many jeans? How many pairs of shoes? About what you just pictured. When I looked into my closet, I had 116 t-shirts, 52 pairs of jeans. Yes, they were all different shapes and colors, but still, I had a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear. How many people here could relate to that and have uttered those same exact words out loud to yourself? Well, needless to say, I've always had an interest in fashion and a passion for putting outfits together and looking and feeling stylish, whatever that may mean to you anyways. But 4 years ago, I started to wonder if fashion, like in food, was going to go through a sort of organic transition. I wondered if I could create the Whole Foods of fashion, a place where you could buy ethically made clothes that were good for the environment, but also stylish. And I asked myself, where does sustainability start? It was at this moment in my life that I realized that the number of items in my closet no longer had any value. Experiences, yes, but values, absolutely not. So I started researching brands that would be ethically made and sustainably sourced, and I had very, very little luck. I was asking them about their environmental impact and their supply chain. Trust me, at this time, nobody wanted to share about their supply chain or social impact, nor environmental impact. So I started to do a lot of research. Turns out that the fashion industry works in a take, make, waste model. We take from our environment with no hesitation. We make our clothes with very little regard for those who make it. And then, because the clothes hold so little value, we wear it once or twice, and then it's in the garbage. How do we put this in perspective? So if one t-shirt takes 2,700 liters of water to make, and we multiply that by the 116 t-shirts that I have sitting in my closet, that makes around 313,200 liters of water. Okay, great. That sounds like a lot of water, but how much water is that really in human perspective? So if we drink around 2 liters of water a day, if you're good, that means I have 429 years of possible drinking water in my closet. Not to mention that unfortunately, all of my t-shirts are not organic cotton, which means there's increased water pollution by the runoff of pesticides into the waterways of the local communities that also harm the health of those people living around the water systems. In the US alone, we have 25 billion pounds of textile waste every year. 15% of that gets recycled. The other 85% goes straight into the landfill. That's around 70 pounds per person of landfill waste sitting in this room. That is only the tip of the iceberg. We're constantly being bombarded by marketing campaigns telling us to shop more, that what we have is not good enough, without keeping in mind the human cost of fast fashion, which causes disasters like that of Rana Plaza, where 1,334 people died in the collapse of a garment factory in Bangladesh. Most of the victims, mostly women, they are at the most risk with the globalization of the fashion supply chain, with increased numbers of violence, negligence, and oppression. Now, while learning all these facts, what was I going to do with them? I needed to merge my passion for fashion and my desire to create sustainable futures. That's when I knew that education was the key, and when I started the Upcycle Project. The Upcycle Project is a platform that raises awareness on the waste that the fashion industry creates by making hands-on circular solutions for design students. Because sustainability starts with the designer. Working with students is an absolute magical experience. They know that their designs will have environmental, social, cultural, and economic impact. So we make them work with unconventional materials such as forgotten pieces from the dry cleaners, dead stock fabrics from different designers, and even bed sheets that no longer were used by different hotel groups. All of them truly embracing the sustainability lessons that we have to teach them. We've also worked with different hotel groups, and we recreate different products that people actually want to buy. If we have the foresight to be able to work with different hotel industries, imagine what we could do with other global industries. But now, what about us? What can we do on our personal level? So when you don't know what to do, I've learned that it's best to do nothing at all. And in my mind, that translated into stop shopping. So I said I was not going to shop for a whole year. I was going to wear and rewear the things that I already had. To put it in perspective, I went to fast fashion 6 to 7 times a month. It was easier for me to buy something new than to rewear something that I already had. How many people here do that? Absolutely. So I went to my closet empowered, and I said, okay, here we go. Where's all my great clothes that I love so much? Well, I found out that my closet had major ADD. Why? Because it was filled with clothes that were just trendy, that were unaligned with my style. All of these clothes had no value. Sure, I went in there and I reworked some outfits, and some weeks I went and I just wore the same thing over and over again. White t-shirt and jeans. No surprise there. But it wasn't until I kept on working that I found that nobody truly cared about sustainable fashion. My family didn't care. My friends didn't care. They just wanted to look cute. Why was I going through this whole trouble? So I decided to break my shopping boycott and go into my favorite store and buy everything that my credit card could handle. Well, I went in there and I picked everything, and I went into the fitting room and I sat down and I tried the clothes on and I said, okay, where are these clothes going to take me? Not thinking about the clothes that I already had in my closet. And when that thought came to mind, I sat back down and I said, what do I value from these clothes? What is their purpose? Who made them? Is the brand story aligned with my values? And that's when I realized that no, the clothes had nothing better than the style and the price. So I put them on the floor and I left, empty-handed, but fully empowered. Now that I'm free, thanks to my shopping fast, I now look for brands that are transparent in their supply chain, who tell me who made their clothes, who have limited edition productions, who pay fair wages and give dignity to those who make their clothes, who use technology and strive for better design and better materials. Thanks to this shopping fast, I have saved money. I have reduced that I have nothing to wear anxiety. And I am free from the hollow brands and all those marketing campaigns that promise empty lifestyles and poor quality products. Now I invite you to close your eyes one more time and think about your closet. Where are those clothes going to take you? What do you value from them? And when you open your eyes again, think of what you truly value. Dr. Seuss once said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. And I stand on this stage before you today, and I tell you that it most definitely will.
Okay, people, so now you can hear me. I'm so sorry my first try was not successful, but okay. We're here sharing with you this short video about this designer and not acting like a designer, but also as a normal person, right? And the important part was to be aware of the quantity and maybe leaving behind the quality is not the idea in the case of fashion, right? So, as a very short resume, les cuento nuestro resumen del video que acabamos de ver. Tenemos unas preguntas muy importantes en las que vamos a dar nuestra opinión, ¿ok? Queremos que ustedes participen y pues están tomadas obviamente de esta información del video. Como resumen, nos hablaban qué cantidad de prendas tenemos en nuestro closet, si esas prendas realmente tienen una importancia, si le damos un uso importante o realmente están allí desgastándose y tal vez haciendo más desechos, más desperdicios que vamos sacando de nuestra casa. Entonces, tenemos 3 preguntas planteadas para ustedes en el link que estamos compartiendo por el medio de nuestro chat. ¿Okay? Queremos invitarlos allí para que respondan igual directamente en el chat de YouTube, en el live en el que estamos compartiendo hoy. Y les voy a resumir esas 3 preguntas, ¿vale? La primera es, how many garments among teachers, jeans, jackets, blouses, well, a whole lot of different garments. How many garments do you have in your closet? So think about that and make this reflection, right? And respond in our live on YouTube now. Okay, I maybe have 25 t-shirts, or I have 5 pairs of jeans, jackets like an 8 or 10 maybe. So just a short reflection, we can share that on the chat. The second goes into your frequency of how often do you buy clothes? Do you go to your shops or your favorite shops or buy online or something weekly, monthly, yearly, right? And if you maybe throw away or give away your old clothes. Para clarificar esa pregunta, quiere decir, tus prendas viejas, tu ropa vieja, tú la regalas, que es giveaway, o la desechas, la tiras a la basura, throw away, okay? Number 3, would you use a garment that was redesigned and recycled? If so, how much would you pay for that, okay? So if you use this garment or you have attended our activities this week and last week, we have encouraged and motivated you to start using garments that have been redesigned or recycled. Even you can do that by yourself, so if you have enough knowledge, okay? Third question, tercera pregunta, nuestras prendas. Si vamos o si seríamos, digamos, partícipes del uso de una prenda que ha sido rediseñada, que ha sido reciclada o armada, obviamente, con partes recicladas. Si las usarías y si así fuera, ¿cuánto estarías dispuesto o dispuesta a pagar por ella? ¿Okay? Entonces, tal vez para algunos, la impresión es que una prenda armada con partes que ya han sido utilizadas y demás, puede tener menos valor, pero para alguien, y la idea es que sea una forma nueva, tal vez de negocio, podamos dar un valor suficiente y un valor que le dé dignidad al trabajo de las personas, como nos decían en el video, y que por falta de esa dignidad y falta de esa buena organización, pues tenemos tragedias como la sucedía en Bangladesh, la que nos mostraron allí. Entonces, vamos a participar en YouTube Live, en nuestro chat, y cuando entremos al link, queremos que ustedes dejen allí su nombre. Pasa que cuando entramos a la página del Padlet, donde estoy mostrando las preguntas, entramos anónimamente, ¿vale? Al final de su respuesta, simplemente pongan su nombre, su ficha. Queríamos invitar a las fichas en las clases de inglés que tengan después para que participen en este Padlet. Pero pues para que no se vayan de nuestro live en YouTube, por favor, respondan en el chat, ¿listo? Y estaremos revisando durante esta actividad. Thank you for the attention. I hope you enjoy a lot this activity that we prepared for you, okay? Thank you, teachers. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Andres. It was so nice to see you today and like to hear everything you had to offer to us today. We hope that our students, our apprentices, work with us with the Padlet activity. As you may see, it's not too hard. Como pueden ver, no es muy difícil. And the idea is that we want to read you. ¿Sí? Queremos leerlos. We want to know what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Queremos saber cómo se sienten, qué piensan, okay? And because this is not like a topic that we don't work, that we're not interested in. This is something that belongs to all of us. Okay, guys? So once again, thank you, Andres. I don't know if you want to add something.
Well, I think we're having a nice time with all knowledge we're sharing here today. I want to thank the first participants. Our first talk was very, very nice and interesting. So I hope you follow our teachers that were invited. And don't forget to participate actively in our chat, okay? So we'll be together as until the end of the activity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Andres. So now I want to introduce our next activity. Okay, so in this case, we are going to be working with Alejandra, some useful vocabulary about fashion revolution. So Alejandra, what do you want to tell us today?
Hello, good morning. Alejandra here present. Alejandra. Don't worry about it. First of all, good morning, everybody. We thank you for your attendance, and we thank our speakers, Camila and Melissa, for that great information they just gave us on that. What is sustainable? Oh my God, my tongue. About sustainability and all the other concepts that we just reviewed. For this activity, thank you so much for coming. For this activity, well, we are going to, this is kind of a test. So we're going to study certain words and definitions related to the fashion industry and the impact and effects that it has in different contexts such as social, economic, and environmental. And that is something, I mean, this activity was created to check your understanding on the different aspects that we have been discussing during these 2 weeks. And our speakers, Melissa and Camila, they used some of those words. They when they were speaking, I was trying like mention them on the chat so that you were like paying more attention to those specific words. And well, these words we are going to be checking are related to the fashion revolution and the fashion industry as well. So I hope you understand them. For this activity, cambio ahora el inglés. Para esta actividad, entonces vamos a ingresar a un enlace que se les va a dejar en YouTube. Es un enlace de quizzes, which is an app we have been using. I think you may know how to use, but I'm going to explain to you how to use it. Entonces, en el enlace que se les va a dejar allí, vamos a ingresamos al enlace, ponemos nuestro nombre, and I am going to wait for about 1 minute to start the game, okay? This is kind of a game. I am so sorry, but it is not a game per se. But you have to please join it in the link. Ingresemos por medio del link y en la medida en que ustedes vayan ingresando, pues ya le daré inicio a la actividad. It is easy, it is simple, it is just about vocabulary. Es una actividad sencilla y simple, simplemente es sobre vocabulario que hemos escuchado a lo largo de las diferentes charlas del día de hoy. El video TED, la charla con Melissa y con Camila y también vocabulario que se ha visto a lo largo de las diferentes sesiones de la semana pasada y también de esta semana. Because some of or most of the vocabulary related to that, to the fashion week and the fashion industry is in English. So I am sure you're going to do really well. So I don't know. Let me see. Let me wait 1 moment. I can't see any of you here yet.
Profe, puedes compartir tu pantalla si deseas.
Okay, thank you. but I can't see. I'm waiting for you to join. Estoy esperando a que ustedes se unen. Todavía no veo aquí. Voy a actualizar. Oh, I'm sorry. You were there. It was me who didn't do the right thing. So, okay, we have some people here. So we are going to start now, but please try to join this short game. Let's begin. Okay. I think I am about to end the game because most of you have already finished. The important thing here, regardless of the position you got or the place you had, is to get to know the vocabulary that we have there. So I'm going to end the game now. Where do I do this? Here. And thank you for participating. Thank you so much for that. And congratulations to Christian Cruz, to Daniel Ramos, and to L. I don't know who L is, but you did a great job. Now, good job for those who did great as well. And let's look at the questions, because that is the important here, the important thing here. So an item of clothing, the answer was a garment. A garment. A consumer, it is not the answer. A cow, it is not a good answer here. A place where rubbish is buried. When Camila was talking, she mentioned this word, this specific word, which is a landfill site, which is un vertedero de residuos, como un botadero. Garment es prenda, prenda de vestir. Made with chemicals not natural, hecho con químicos que no es natural. Synthetic, algo que es sintético. That was the right answer. Use someone unfairly for your own advantage, which is something we shouldn't do. That is to exploit, como aprovecharse de alguien para nuestro provecho, para sacar ventaja. Eso es explotar, which is related to this, all that is, everything that has to do with fashion revolution is about having better working conditions and less exploitation. Not damaging to the environment, so able to continue for a long time. That is sustainable, que no daña el medio ambiente, es sostenible. Es algo que también nuestras participantes Melissa y Camila hablaron y utilizaron bastante este término de sostenibilidad. The small amount of money that an employer can legally pay you, which is the minimum wage. El salario mínimo también tiene que ver mucho con condiciones laborales que se venían, vinimos hablando de ello en la semana pasada en los procesos de sensibilización sobre esta semana. A person who buys things for personal use. A consumer. Una persona que compra cosas para uso personal, un consumidor. Now, we should think what kind of consumers we are. Deberíamos pensar, teniendo en cuenta el contexto, qué tipo de consumidores somos y empezar a también realizar ciertas acciones para mejorar las condiciones ambientales, laborales, que van detrás de todo ello que consumimos. Number 8, which of the following sources is used to produce the fabric polyester? And the answer is oil. How many garment workers died after the collapse of the Rana Plaza in Bangladesh in 2013? This is a question we should know, because that is something we also reviewed or learned during the previous week. The answer is around 1,100. Alrededor de 1,100 personas murieron en el colapso en Bangladesh. And the last one is, where did around 1,000 people die after the collapse of Rana Plaza in 2013? The answer is Bangladesh. That was and the last question. So thank you so much for participating, and I hope you have learned something today with this activity. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tatiana. I am back to you now, Tatiana.
Okay. Thank you, Alejandra. It was a great activity for us to know what our students understood. Yeah. So now, just like to wrap things up, I want to invite Milena. Okay, because Milena today is going to share a last activity for this live event that we're having, and we hope you're having an amazing time and that you're learning a lot. And remember that not only we communicate through images, through words, but also the idea of this live event, and that it's in English, is for you to see how much have you learned through your program at SENA. So Milena, when you're ready.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. How are you doing today? I hope you're enjoying this awesome time that we have. Okay. So here we are gonna share some information first. Okay, Mr. Orlando, or should I share my, ¿puedo compartir pantalla, señor? Please.
Sí, claro,
Or-
dale.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, okay, but I want to share, 1 second, please. Oops, I don't know. Are you watching my screen? No, or yes?
No, Milena.
No, profe.
1 second, please.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. So just to follow with the overview, teacher Alejandra shared with us terms and key vocabulary on this very important topic. So here I just want to go in depth some concepts, all right, that we just need to keep on, all right? What's wrong with the fashion industry at this point? So here, Tatiana, would you mind please sharing this website on the chat, on the YouTube chat, please, so
Yeah,
they can have
don't worry.
access to it, please?
Yeah, don't worry.
All right, thanks a lot. So here we go, guys. Here we have the drop in garment prices over the last 20 years has allowed us to buy more and more clothes. What do you think about this specific information? Do you agree? We now have 5 times more clothes than our grandparents had. It felt great until we found out what was hiding behind this trend. So I consider this is really our big concern at this point. Don't you think so? La caída en los precios de las prendas de vestir de los últimos 20 años nos ha permitido a todos comprar más y más ropa. Do you agree? Definitely, right? Definitely. We have 5 times more clothes than our grandparents had. Okay, so, and that is the big problem we have now. Okay, but finally we found out, por fin descubrimos qué hay detrás de todo este trend, de toda esta tendencia. In reality, this continuous accumulation of cheap garments is only possible because of a constant reduction of production cost. Y aquí lo que nos hablaba our speaker Camila and Melissa, thank you very much for your conference now. It says reduction of production costs, fast fashion. That is definitely our, you know, final definition, why we're accumulating all that big amount of clothes in our closets, right? It has serious consequences. Look at this. It has serious consequences on our health, our planet, and on garments workers' life. So here, they point out 5 important, you know, topics. The first one of them is fast fashion, actually, because, you know, we are immersed on this situation here. So if I click on this button, fast fashion, the monster in our closets. Do you think so? Definitely, right? It has become a challenge to wear a garment more than 5 times. Why? Remember, fíjense lo que nos decía Miss Camila on her speaking, on her talk. She said that we don't definitely think how many times are we gonna use this or that garment, all right? And that it's an issue for each one of us. Garment quality is declining every year. As a result, our clothes immediately look faded, you know, look faded, like what we call mareada, no sé, de un color distinto que ya no nos gusta. Shapeless, you know, shapeless. or worn out. Ya no son vestibles, ya no nos gustan porque pierden su forma, all right? So that's one of the reasons we change clothes every time that we have the chance to buy it, ¿no? Cada vez que podemos comprarla, pues por eso compramos tanta, ¿verdad? Trends are changing so quickly that we cannot keep up. We continue to purchase just to stay up to date, all right? Las tendencias cambian muy rápido y simplemente no podemos estar, up to date, a la moda o actualizados. Entonces esos trends nos hacen ser más consumers, ¿no? Like fast consumers as well. This is fast fashion, guys. Aquí está. Mass production of cheap disposable clothing. You know, disposable, desechable, ropa desechable, right? Mass production of cheap disposable clothing. Countless new collections per year make us feel constantly out of date. And that, of course, encourage us to keep buying more and more. So here we go. Why we are immersed on this reality, okay? All right, so you can continue exploring this website, guys. This is the second button, Fashion's Environmental Impacts. De esto sí ya nos han hablado bastante. Los invito a que ustedes sigan chequeando este website, all right, y sigan encontrando las razones por las cuales estamos hoy conmemorando esta fecha tan especial en donde ya somos más conscientes, somos more conscious. We have built our conscious. ¿Ok? Lo que nos decían del water consumption, lo que nos dijo nuestro speaker en el video de YouTube, el breakup, nos decía que el consumo de agua es increíblemente alto. Look at this. Miren, solo por dar otra suma. Up to 10,000 liters of water are needed to produce only 1 kilogram of cotton. That's a really huge amount. I mean, really huge quantity of water, Okay, so here we go to so you can continue checking down here, okay? And then we go to the third issue, which is inhumane working conditions. That is a big, no less important issue as well, inhumane working conditions, Here, it's like the summary. I would say that this is like the prompt of all our inhuman conditions we are living all around the world. We have known this for decades. Most of our clothes are made in countries in which workers' rights are limited or non-existent. In fact, production sites are regularly moving location on the lookout for ever cheaper labor cost. This is our situation at this point. Here, actually in Colombia, y nosotros en Colombia, inclusive sufrimos de este flagelo, todas las personas que confeccionan y que producen toda esta línea de textileras y demás. Aún tenemos este gran problema, ¿no? Nuestros workers, todas las personas que trabajan en todo este proceso, sus derechos son vulnerados, son bastante limitados y muchas veces ni siquiera existen. All right, si nosotros tenemos una charla con nuestros aprendices, de hecho que ya se mueven en el área de la confección y demás, ellos dicen que el valor de una prenda de vestir, la confección de una prenda de vestir es bastante, el valor es bastante irrisorio. ¿Listo? Eso está ocurriendo y quizás a nosotros nos está tocando muchísimo este problema, right? Por eso, precisamente, el hecho de que tengamos que acudir o más bien tratar de cumplir con el hecho de que tengas otras opciones que sí tengan en cuenta todos estos, problemas, okay? Here we go with the next topic, which is toxic clothing, toxic substances in our clothes. Chemicals are used in every part of the textile production. for making fibers, bleaching, and dyeing fabrics. Okay, lo que nos explicaba Melissa and Camila en todos estos procesos, right? Ustedes pueden seguir chequeando. I invite you, cordially invite you to check all these websites. What we can do, miren acá, how can we reduce our fashion environmental impact? Number one, Melissa ya no lo dijo, Camila, buy less. Okay? Number two, buy clothes from sustainable brands. Aquí está. ¿Listo? Para que nosotros de alguna manera aportemos a todos nuestros workers de alguna forma. ¿Listo? Buy better quality. Ready? Buy better quality. Think twice before throwing out your clothes. Okay? Aquí están los puntos que usted puede venir y chequearlos one by one. All right? Try to repair them. Donate your clothes. Some clothes shops take back used clothes. So you gotta look for those shops that take back used clothes. Los que no reciben ropa usada. Qué genial eso, ¿no? Genial que tengamos esa opción. Put them in the textile recycling bin, right? Buy second-hand, swap, and rent clothing. Suena quizás disparatado, pero estamos entrando y tenemos que entrar en esta realidad. Comprar ropa de segunda mano, swap is exchange it, ¿sí? Quizás intercambiar ropa, quizás, o simplemente rentarla o alquilarla. De esa manera también estamos aportando a nuestro planeta y todos los elementos en los cuales sí podemos hacer parte de el cambio. Keep an eye on your washing. Importante, keep an eye on your washing. Miren acá, nos regalan 8 tips to reduce our laundry environmental impact. Lavar ropa también impacta en el planeta, chicos. Hay que revisar este website para que nos cuenten más sobre ello. Okay? So now, based on this, I want you to please check on this short video game that we have created. We have recreated all this information into a video game. How can I go there? I don't know. Hold on, please. I'm checking. Okay. Tatis or Orlando, is the link to the video game on the chat? Can we start over?
Yes.
All right, so here we go, guys. So this is a really short quiz. It is only 5 questions. So whenever you are ready to start over, so all you just need to do is to press start on the joystick, and el joystick del TV set, all right? So our question, our key question, what's wrong with the fashion industry? So, Tatis, I would ask you to please help me with the answers on the chat, so I can press here according to the apprentices' participation. All right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
ready.
go ahead. So let's start over.
So guys, be aware that right at this moment on the chat, you have the link to the activity. So the idea for this is that we are going to read the question and you're going to tell us if it is 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so don't doubt. If you have questions, don't doubt to ask them. Okay, so we're waiting for you. Let us know when you're ready. Déjenos saber cuando ya estén listos. Okay. So, Mili, when you're ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go over. So the first question over here is, fast fashion, the monster in our closet. Remember this banner over here? So the question is, it has become a challenge to wear a garment more than 5 times. Why? So what is the conclusion? Number one, mass production of cheap disposable clothing. Number two, garment quality is improving every year. Number three, trends aren't changing quickly so we can keep up.
Okay, guys.
One,
So
two, or three?
right at this moment, we're waiting for you on the chat. Estamos esperando que nos respondan por el chat. So please be aware that there is no wrong answer. The idea of this is to know if you understood. Okay, guys? So what do you think, guys? It's the correct answer. 1, 2, or 3? Okay, I think our public today, it's quite scared. It looks like. What do you think, Milena? Because none of them are writing right now.
You know what? The thing is that, the transmission, like, it's like behind, because I'm checking here if on the transmission is over the last part of the website that we were checking before. Hey, there you go, Christian Camila.
Okay, so Christian says 1.
Exactly, well done.
Okay, so you click on 1. Yeah, ready?
All right, there you go. There you go. So, wow, that means that we did a good job. Are you checking my screen? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Level number 2 of 5. So the second banner, it says fashion's environmental impact. So based on that topic, the question is the fashion industry a polluter in the world? Number 1, no, it doesn't cause any impact. Number 2, yes, but it causes a few impact. Number 3, yes, the fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world.
Okay, so guys, what do you think it is? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Okay, so we're waiting for our participants to let us know what they think or believe is the correct answer. Okay, Christian Camilo, once again, he says it's number 3.
All right, is the fashion industry the second largest polluter in the world? There you go. Thank you, Christian. So if we click on number 3, look what happens.
Good, Yadira and Edison. Okay, yeah, guys. Yeah, perfect, guys.
Thanks a lot. So let's continue over here. Level number 3 of 5. Inhuman working conditions. Remember, that was the third topic that we reviewed before. Question, what's wrong with the working conditions in the world?
Okay,
what's wrong
Milena,
with working?
hold on a second because I'm only seeing the second. We're still in level 2.
All right, sure.
So no, in your screen, I'm seeing level 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can see level 3 here. And you seeing inhuman working conditions?
No, in the fashion industry.
Oh my God. So what should I do? Repeat it or what? I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
Hold on. Hold on a second. I think that if you want, I can share my screen and you keep talking, okay?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah? Okay. So, so I need you to stop sharing your screen.
Okay. How should I do that? Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, close here.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, now this time we're looking at the level 3 question. So if you haven't stopped sharing, we can continue.
All right. So can you see still can you
Yeah.
still see my, all right, got it. All right. So here we go with inhuman working conditions. All right. What's wrong with working conditions in the world? Number one, workers' rights are limited or non-existent. Number two, workers are well paid. And number three, conditions are fair, but could be better. The concept of fair means like they're equivalent, what we call justas conditions, all right?
Okay, so we're waiting for them to answer, but I know they're seeing the questions. So guys, what do you think is the right answer? Number one, number two, or number three? So we already have an answer, but let's wait if everyone agrees or not. Okay, so Christian says number one. Edison also says number one. Okay, let's see. Yadira also says number one. What do you think, Milena?
Wow, they are really focused. They are really paying attention to all these stuff over here. So really, I'm really glad for them. Congratulations, Christian, Edison, Yadira. It's an awesome job, all right? So, okay, so let's click in number one though. There you go. Perfect, level 4. So we're almost done, guys. Toxic clothing, which were, that was our, our next topic. How are toxic substances in our clothes harmful, dangerous? How are toxic substances in our clothes dangerous? Option number one, chemicals used to make our clothes are currently banned. Banned, prohibited. Do you consider chemicals?
Mile, once again, we cannot see the question number 4. We're still in number 3. So
hold on.
I don't know if you're stopping sharing the screen to see the chat.
Okay. The thing is that I'm checking here. Mr. Orlando, can you please help me how to stop here? Because if I click in salir, it means that voy a salir de la reunión, Mr. Orlando. ¿O qué hago?
Sí, no hay ningún problema.
¿Le doy clic en salir, Orlando?
No, para salir sí, te puedes retirar de la reunión y ya
no,
la profe queda con compartir la pantalla.
Solo quiero parar de compartirla.
Profe Tatiana, si quieres compartir tu contenido, ya ahí él te da la opción para compartir y dejaría de compartir la profe Milena.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mile. So level number 4, go.
Thank you. All right. So I was saying that toxic clothing was the next topic, that we presented on the website, and you can see it on the website. Okay. So the question is, how are toxic substances in our clothes harmful? Harmful is dangerous, synonym of dangerous. Number one, here we go with the options. Number one, chemicals used to make our clothes are currently banned. Banned, it's like prohibited. Do you consider that the textile and all these brands and these clothes shop or choppers, do they have these prohibitions for the production line? Or number two, chemicals used in clothing contains toxins, carcinogens, and hormone disruptors, which are absorbed by us, by our body. Number 3, these cannot present a real danger to our health.
Okay, guys, so what do you think is the correct answer? So remember that you can say number 1, number 2, or number 3. So I don't know if Mila, you can check on YouTube if they already answered something.
All right, I can see here that we have number 1, but I'm not sure. No, okay, here we go. Number 2, Edison Giovanni, number 2.
He says number 2, okay.
Okay. And only Edison and all the rest, what happened to Christian Camilo, to Yadira, the ones which are participating? Christian Camilo, here we go, number 2, well done, sir. Okay, what do you consider, Yadira?
Okay, so let's see. We're going to go with number 2. Oh yeah, perfect, guys.
Well done. Awesome. And the final one, sir. And okay, here we go. Level number 5. We have divided fibers into categories according to their environmental impact. So pay attention to the 2 categories. What do you consider is the best option now? Option number 1, the fibers we like but are not eco-friendly. Number 2, the fibers we avoid have one or several notably negative environmental impact. And number 3, eco-friendly fibers and on-green fibers. You know, on-green, the ones which are no natural fibers. Oh, they're not the best ones, all right? So what did you consider? What is the best option which is accurate to this categories division or classification? 1, 2, or 3?
Okay, let's see what our participant says about it. So,
Christian Camilo, once again, over here, on first place. Number 3, he says, number 3.
Okay, so do I click on it?
Let's wait on the other ones. What do you think, Nancy? There you go, Edison. He said he agrees. That's number 3.
Okay, so I'm going to click on number 3 to see what happens. Oh yeah, congratulations, guys.
There you go, guys. Thanks a lot for playing. I really appreciate all your time here with us. Thanks a lot, Tati. Thanks a lot for your time as well.
Okay, guys, and just to wrap things up, to finish things up, so what is the idea? We're going to check our Padlet to see what's going on with it, what are the students and the apprentices' answers, okay? So we have 3 questions, okay? We had 3 questions. The first one is, how many garments, t-shirts, pairs of jeans, jackets, etc. do you have in your closet? Okay, so the first one, oh, I have a lot of garments. I haven't had the time to count how many, but I know that there is more clothing in my closet that I can use. So, tiene mucha ropa, mucha más de la que puede contar y de la que se puede poner. Someone says, I have at least 150 items in my closet. O sea, tengo como mínimo 150 piezas de ropa en mi closet. I have approximately 30 to 40 garments. Tengo de 30 a 40. Wow. Ok, en total yo tengo aproximadamente 50 prendas de ropa en las mencionadas anteriormente. Ok, someone says 3, someone says en total tengo como 20 a 25, around 5 or 6 of everything, 5 prendas. I have approximately 300 garments in my closet. Oh, Danielle, wow. I have 40 or 50 clothes in my closet. Okay, we have some other answers. Okay, to our question number 2, how often do you buy clothes? Weekly, monthly, yearly? Do you give away or throw away your old outfits? So we have like some answers, mixed answers. Some of them buy their clothes annually, okay? Hay algunos que la compran anual. Some of them don't buy that much of clothing because of the pandemic. Hay unos que no compran casi ropa por la pandemia. Someone says, I never buy clothes. My clothes are giveaway for my family, and I give away my clothes when I'm already big. Entonces, nunca compro ropa, mi ropa como que es donada o regalada por mi familia y recibo y doy, ¿sí? Dono de vuelta mi ropa cuando ya soy grande. ¿Ok? Daniel says that he buys clothes every 4 months and he gives all clothes. Que él compra ropa cada 4 meses, pero que regala la ropa vieja. ¿Ok? So I see that on our second question, most of you buy clothes yearly. Okay, la mayoría de ustedes compran como ropa anual. And finally, to our third word, would you use a garment that was redesigned and recycled? If so, how much would you pay for that? So this is a good question because that's something that we were talking and discussing with Melissa and Camila. Eso es algo que nosotros estábamos hablando con Melissa y con Camila. And also in our talk yesterday y también en nuestra charla del día de ayer. ¿Ok? ¿Usted usaría una prenda de ropa que haya sido rediseñada y reciclada? ¿Cuánto pagaría por ella? ¿Ok? So some of you said, yeah, I will wear it. Sí, algunos de ustedes sí la usarían. You're saying that there are good options to give the garments a second use. Okay. So I think that there are like different answers, but you all are going like to the same point. Todos van yendo hacia el mismo punto. So what is the idea of this event? ¿Cuál es la idea de este evento? So first, we need for you like to have in mind what we're doing to our planet, okay? And second, we want to show you how English can connect and can help you understand what's going on, okay? Remember, as I said in the beginning, okay? Recuerden lo que yo les dije al principio. So when we're talking about fashion, when we're talking about acquire a language, cuando nosotros estamos hablando de moda, cuando estamos hablando de aprender un idioma, it's not only putting words together. No es solo poner palabras juntas that make sense, que tengan sentido. No, it's like develop, okay? Es desarrollar, okay? Develop and performing, okay? To understand how other cultures work. Entender cómo otras culturas funcionan. So guys, I'm so glad to be joining you today. I hope you have signed the attendance list. Okay, espero que hayan firmado la lista de asistencia. So we hope you have learned a lot today. Espero que hayan aprendido mucho el día de hoy. And see you in the next occasion. Bye guys, take care.